Alright, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here, and I'm solo for a review today. And I just finished watching this film, and I want to review it as soon after I finish it as possible. I'm talking about Baaghi 1. This film came out in 2016, and this is the first official film that any of us at Boring Reviews have seen starring Tiger Shroff. Tiger Shroff is a favorite actor of a student I know named Jasmine. Hey Jasmine, she is an Indian student. Her father is from India, and so she tells me about these films all the time. She found out about Boring Reviews, and she was really excited. So she loves Tiger Shroff, and she keeps telling me to watch all his movies. She's dying that I haven't seen War yet. I missed it for the few weeks it was out here at the theater locally, and I'm bumming about it. I can't wait to see that. That's become a huge hit. Just recently came out with Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff. But Baaghi 1 is my first Tiger Shroff film. And, you know, I looked at his filmography, and he hasn't come out with a lot of movies, but this guy is big time. And this guy is like a quadruple threat. He can act. He has martial arts skills. He can dance, right? And he's super jacked. I mean, this guy is in amazing shape. When Baaghi 1, when he was filming that, he was about 25, and he looks like a younger guy. But this film is over the top. Definitely. This film is cheesy at certain times. This film does not have the best acting. This film has a stereotypical villain. It has all these elements that make it for just an okay film. But I loved this movie. I'm not sure why I loved it so much, but when I finished the movie, like I said, I had to get right to recording my review. I love Baaghi. I really did. We've had a few faithful viewers who have been dying for us to do a reaction to Baaghi 3, and it would be easy for us to do that. I mean, it's right there. It's available. It comes out next year, but I wanted to watch the movies. I know we've done Commando 3 and Dabangg 3, but I wanted this one to be true. And so I'm going to be reacting to Baaghi 2 trailer reaction pretty soon. Then I'll watch it very soon, review that. I'm excited to get the whole trilogy done, as I know you guys are excited to watch Baaghi 3. But I am super excited to talk about this movie because I'm super excited to watch the trailer for the second Baaghi. I'm so excited I can't get my words out. All right, so let's talk about Baaghi 1. So you have Tiger Shroff, you have Shardra Kapoor, which I feel like such a moron because in our hater reaction, I mentioned Shardra Kapoor's name was in the credits, and I was like, oh, is that Shahid Kapoor's brother or sister? I wasn't sure about the name. Duh, we already reviewed Stree. She's in that as the unnamed woman. I knew her. I'm not sure why I did not make that connection. She's in this film. I loved her in this movie. The chemistry between her and Tiger Shroff is phenomenal in my opinion. They have this playful kind of like, oh, you're annoying me, but I like you type chemistry, and it works really, really well for this film. The dancing from both Shardra Kapoor and Tiger Shroff is top notch. My favorite dance number is when they're at the train station, and she's doing her dance number with her leg that's going like this and going like that. I think it's awesome. And then he jumps in. I knew he was a big-time dancer. There was a video I did not watch because I may want to react to it that he just recently reacted to, or he recently created on YouTube with his tribute to Hrithik Roshan, probably after their war movie together. But I knew this guy was a serious dancer. That whole dance sequence, the singing, the choreography, that was phenomenal. And in this movie, you have a recurring theme, or recurring plot point, or plot device, there we go, where when the two of them are together, the rains start. And they start to catch on as characters eventually on where there's something behind this. And basically, whenever it rains, we're always going to be near each other, as if the rains are reacting to when our love is together so that we can fall in love and we can be together happily ever after. And I love that plot device. I have never seen that before, me personally. Very unique. Rain is such a common element to use as a plot device. And the filmmaker for this film, I saw it had a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Boo Rotten Tomatoes. It had 5.2 on IMDb. Boo on that. This film is fantastic. Yes, again, over the top and cheesy, but it's totally worth it. That is what this film is. It is almost like a love letter, in my opinion, to the action movies of the 90s. Tiger Shroff was born in 1990. To me, this was a love letter to like a Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie of the early 90s. This movie, I can't talk enough about how much I'm fanning out on how much I love this movie. But you have Tiger Shroff, who plays Ronnie, and this movie follows a lot of other Indian films plots where they kind of jump around timelines, so you only get a little bit at a time. But basically, him and Shraddha Kapoor's character Saya, they had a falling out, and he's very mad and he's very hurt, but she's in trouble. Now, the one thing I was confused about that I was going to do some research on, but I was so excited to review about, I didn't do it, is I'm really confused. My biggest knock on this movie is I'm really confused on the timeline. I'm really confused on when we have the battle scene at the end and we have the beginning when he's being hired to help her out. And this is the very first few minutes of the film. How much time later is that from when they've met and the whole story takes place with them falling in love? That's what I want to know. Please help me out in the comment section so I can better understand. That part was not clear to me. Maybe it was mentioned very quickly and it wasn't translated into subtitles. This is one of the few movies I've seen where the subtitles didn't do a really good job with the gender names, his, her, and that, or whatever. So it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But basically, Ronnie gets hired to help her. She's an actress, and her dad wants her back to finish this movie. And he doesn't want to because his heart is broken, but he needs the money to help out this kid he's taking care of. And so he agrees to go take that on, and then you get a lot of backstory. And I love that part. The backstory was fantastic. Again, these characters falling in love was fantastic. Him going to the dojo, the training school with the sensei was really, really awesome. I loved all of it. I mean, honestly, there's very few in this movie I did not love. And even when I was starting with the third act, I was thinking about some of the things I wanted to say in my review as I'm watching it. And I'm thinking to myself, one of my complaints is going to be that there's not a lot of martial arts in this martial arts film. And man alive, did I say that just a few minutes too soon. Because once we get to the end fight scene where Tiger Shroff, where Ronnie infiltrates that building of the bad guy, holy cow. That was one of the best in-fight scenes I've ever seen. Really, honestly, one of the best. Again, it was a little over the top. I've seen it before, one man versus a million, as recently as John Wick 3, but it was done so fantastically. I don't know how Tiger Shroff was able to do all those kicks and keep it going. It must have been several days of a shoot. You talk about realistically, there's no way Ronnie would be able to have any kind of stamina to fight the bad guy at the end, let alone when he's fighting one of the bad guys. They're like in this group shower room, like who turned the water on. But I feel like the director's using water as a big symbol in this film, for almost like water gives Ronnie some power, some strength to move forward. It fuels his love with Saya, and so it fuels his power to go and save her. I don't know. I'm jumping all over the place because I just sensory overload, word overload here. But that end battle scene, fantastic. There's a part where the guy has this epic mustache, and he's with these two ladies, and he gets up like, "Oh, you're not going to take me on." And Ronnie just does this kick to his shin, and then it's like a delay, and then something happens. Holy cow, I had to watch that a few times. That was amazing. I have never seen that before. It reminded me of Ip Man. Wow, you're talking about some serious breakage right there. Well done on that. That was awesome. I really liked how they did over the top with like the cords around the bodies and the harnesses where they're getting kicked and they kind of fly like this, like a knuckleball in baseball. That was really cool. It could have failed miserably, but I really liked it because they kept with that theme, and I really liked that. This movie was great. It really was. I even liked how they did a little more with the story, with the bad guy's main henchman and the bullets, if you know what I'm talking about, how it went to the side. That was really cool. Ronnie was not a guy to mess with. But Tiger Shroff showed a lot of range in this film where he was very playful and very silly and very happy as he's messing around with Saya, trying to get her attention. And then he's very down to business, very serious when he is ready to fight. And I love how at the end, here's a big spoiler here, I love how at the end, when the main bad guy admits that he killed his father, the sensei, that alone, the love that Ronnie had for his sensei, and that's a big part of this movie, the relationship between teacher and student. That love alone is what fueled him to dig deep within inside himself to fight the enemy. Not just that, but it helped him remember, let me use the stuff that my sensei taught me to fight this guy who's very, very well trained as well. I've been beaten up by this guy several times before. Let me use what he taught me. Let me implement some of the things that he had as a martial arts master. And so once he did that, then that's all she wrote for the bad guy. Going backtrack a little bit, I loved the nod to Karate Kid, where he's doing all these chores for the sensei, and then he realizes the chores that he's doing, specifically the whole pendulum, big old log that he's trying to hit the bell with and ring the bell and not get hit at the same time, and he finally stops with his foot. Was that not a nod to Karate Kid? I mean, come on. Wax on, wax off, sand the floor, paint the fence, side to side. That was a direct nod to Karate Kid. Karate Kid's one of my personal favorites. It's in my top 10, no doubt, of all time. And so I love that. I thought it was fantastic. And it wasn't done in a plagiaristic way or in a cheesy way. It was just a nice little Easter egg that I thought was phenomenal. I love this movie. I really do. I want to watch the second one very, very soon. I'm a little busy, but I'm not a huge martial arts fan, but maybe I really am because I loved Ip Man and I love this. It reminded me a lot of the Jackie Chan movies as well. And at the very end, in the credits, the end credits, you see all the times he got hurt, all the bloopers, if you will, but the times where, the martial arts stunt didn't go right and he had an ice pack to his head, or his shin got really hurt, or he accidentally hit someone else, or he wasn't able to catch the coconuts in the baskets. I love those kind of outtakes. Toy Story does that very well too. I love when you can be a little more real, but Jackie Chan movies of the 90s really, really did that, where you saw how much pain this man went through to bring us an awesome movie. So hats off to Tiger Shroff. I'm already a fan. All these guys you're telling me about, whether it's Amitabh Bachchan, or whether it's SRK, or Amir Khan, or Tiger Shroff, I mean, all these actors are living up to the hype that you're putting on them. And I'm not one to jump in with the hype unless I see it for myself. So, can't wait to see some more Tiger Shroff films. Can't wait to watch more in this series. Definitely, I know I'm not going to be able to wait till the third one comes out. So maybe I'll stretch a little bit of time before I watch the second one, because the third one's not till 2020. But I think this is the fastest I've talked. You can tell how genuine my excitement is for this movie. I'm going to grade this film easily at A minus. Honestly, that's a high grade for me, because I was going into this halfway through thinking, okay, this is maybe a B, maybe a B plus. But that end scene, Tiger Shroff, Shadra Kapoor, all the elements, bringing it back to the sensei at the end. The third act is phenomenal, and that's where a lot of films go wrong. They mess it up in the third act. This third act was phenomenal. If you are a fan of martial arts films, I don't care if you don't care about Indian cinema, check out Baaghi. It's on Netflix. It's definitely worth the watch. But I'm giving it an A minus. It's a fantastic film. Why the A minus? Over the top, cheesy. I can't completely excuse that, even though it did not ruin the film for me at all. And plus, with the timing and everything, I was very confused. Is it 6 months later? Is it 2 years later? To me, it can't be too much later, because he takes Saya and then he still has her, and I can't imagine he's been keeping her captive all this time, and she's a very strong individual character. She's just not going to sit back forever. So it was great. Everyone did great in this film. I loved it. Even the villain, who wasn't my favorite character, I mean, that guy was jacked. So you believe that, you're not going to mess with him. And he definitely had his martial arts skills in place. So there's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, we have some other reviews, either that I've done myself or most of them done with the Boring Review family. Go ahead and check those out. Give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And let me know how excited you are for my Baaghi 2 trailer reaction and my review, which will be coming out shortly. But until next time, adios.